Hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. Back in town, back in streaming, back to everything. Until we're not. Because that's just how it is. You know? We stream until we don't. Now, as per usual, we're just gonna do some Skyrim. So yeah. Good old Skyrim. Now, before I go into like everything that happened last week or what's going on in the game or what happened, yeah, like, you know, we had the whole day off Twitch thing. Before we go into all of that, I want to talk about the handful of issues I had starting the stream. Number one, that is still currently happening. You might be able to hear it in the background. I don't know. I hope you can't. But it's really fucking annoying. There's this grinding sound that my fan likes to do. Like, one of the fans in my PC. And I can hear that it is indeed the fan. I don't know what the fuck causes it. It just does it. Now, up until recently, it would only do it like once, like every time I turn on the PC, and then it would quiet down after I like go away for 10 minutes then come back. It's decided it wants to do it indefinitely. It's just gonna do that for all of eternity now. Every time my PC is on, it is just gonna have a horrible grindy fan. I hope I can fix it somehow. I really hope I can fix it somehow. I don't know how to fix it. I tried. I like opened up my case for the first time since I got it, by the way, which was like 2 years ago. I checked inside. It's not touching anything. Like, I heard it sounds like it's hitting a wire. Well, I opened it. I looked inside. I gave the fan a spin. It's not touching anything. It's not touching a wire. I don't know what's causing the sound. I don't like the sound. It's a horrible grindy sound, and it gets on my nerves. So why is it making that? Who the fuck knows? We'll just have to learn to ignore it until I can fix it. Oh. Woodcutter. Hello. So that's number one. Number two. You might notice that VTube Studio is being a little dumbass today. VTube Studio is being super weird and cranky because I don't know why. I couldn't solve the issue. I tried closing VTube Studio and reopening. I tried like turning off the connect to my PC and turning it back on my phone. That didn't fix it. I don't know why VTube Studio is being super dumb, but you might notice that I am very glitchy today, and every once in a while I'll just stop moving. Why will I stop moving? I don't know! Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I'll just stop moving every once in a while. It's just we're gonna have to live with it today. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't fix it. I thought it was maybe because of low lighting in my room, and then I turned on my overhead light, and that didn't fix it. I don't know why it would have been low lighting, because my phone has always in the past been able to track my face no matter how low the lighting. But no, this time it's just decided it doesn't like working. Nothing likes working today. My fan doesn't want to stop making its horrible grinding sound. VTube Studio doesn't want to be buttery smooth like it's been in the past. What else is going wrong today? Oh, right, y'all familiar with the hate raids that have happened up until recently? Those. Yeah, those. Y'all familiar with those? Yeah, so That's the whole reason why a day off Twitch was organized in the first place. As part of just kind of like on a whim for that day, another VTuber, actually, their name is Ash. They went ahead and, you know, they do a lot of coding. So they went ahead and made their own bot as kind of like, you know, a protection bot, because you all may be familiar with the whole brand new thing that you now have to turn on emotes only mode when you're offline, because just people are horrible and will just go to your chat when you're offline and type in stupid things and then switch to a different account and report you. Oh, there goes the fan. Okay, good. The fan has finally stopped doing its horrible grinding sound an hour after I turned on my PC. So, that's, yeah, so emotes only mode is like, you know, a whole thing you have to do now. Ash went ahead and made a bot that essentially... Oh, no, it's back. The fan, horrible, grindy fan is back. Yeah, Ash went ahead and made a bot that essentially moderates your channel and automatically, whenever you go offline, turns on, I believe... So it's supposed to be emotes only mode, but it says it disabled sub only mode. So subscribers only mode was what my channel was on. But anyway, here's the thing. Yeah, sub only mode went ahead and got turned on and then automatically turned off when I go live. That's a nice thing. That is a nice thing. It's a nice quality of life. I'm not 100% confident that's turned off. The reason why is because on the little widgets you have in your Twitch stream manager, if any of you ever go to that page, I'm always on that page. There's a little checkbox to turn on and off, you know, sub-only mode, emotes only mode, and follower-only mode. There's a checkbox on sub-only mode that I cannot uncheck. Hopefully it's not enabled, because that's going to be a huge annoyance if people are here in my stream and just can't talk because sub-only mode is permanently enabled. That's gonna suck. Another thing. Another thing that this bot does is it supposedly blocks all raids. At least that's what I've heard. I don't think that's a great thing. That's not exactly what I had in mind opting into this bot. So if I don't receive any raids at all during the stream, and I hear people on Twitter, you know, DM me and be like, "Hey Haru, I tried to raid you, but I couldn't for whatever reason," then I'll know it was the bot, and I'll just go ahead and tell Ash to opt me out of this bot. We're gonna give it a try for now, just to see, because here's the thing. It does, like, help a lot against hate raids and all that stuff. It does help. So for that, I am grateful. But aside from all that, yeah, I don't know about all the extra stuff that's being attached to that. So there's that. Oh, hi, Malefic Music. Okay, so it looks like sub-only mode is, in fact, not enabled. That's good to hear. Unless you are one of the people sub to me. I'm not sure. Hello, Cody. Yeah. So that's number 3 issues that I have in just the past 30 minutes of me setting up for stream. Hello, Jeremy. Hi, it's good to see everyone here. Yeah, I don't know if any of you were here when I was explaining the VTube Studio issue, but if you see my model being very glitchy and freezy constantly, I don't know how to fix that. It's just decided today is the day it's gonna do that. So we're gonna live with it. Hopefully I can get it fixed by next time. I don't know what the problem is. Like, I was wondering if it was because VTube Studio needed an update, but I checked and it doesn't. Like, my version of VTube Studio is completely up to date. So, who knows? Who knows what the problem is? And it's possible that it'll be smoother if I were to physically connect it to a webcam on my PC. But that webcam sucks for VTube Studio because it makes everything glitch out and everything doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Like, eyes constantly spazzing out, and I really hate it. I despise using that webcam for VTube Studio, so I would much prefer this stupid glitchy VTube Studio that freezes constantly to the webcam. So enough complaining. We're back to Skyrim. We are back to Skyrim. I had a good week. What's the goal in Skyrim? What is the goal? Good question. That is an excellent question. We could build a house. You know, we've got the starter to Lakeview Manor, but we could absolutely build up even more and just, you know, chat while we work on that. Or we've got the Companions questline to work on. Also, I am upgraded to Orcish. It's actually not better than Dwarven, which sucks because I was kind of getting bored of Dwarven. And my smithing skill is super slow and grindy to level up. Which is why it might not be a bad idea to do some house building. Okay, so we're gonna have to kill you first. Yeah. Just take you down. There we go. So, I guess I'll take that. And, nice, a book I didn't read. Anything else? Burial urn. I'll take that ring. Dwarven sword. Nice. And that's it. Alright, well, we took care of the neighbor. How long has this road been here? I don't remember this road being a thing. Where does this road lead to? I guess it kind of goes to Half Moon Mill, and does it go, like, all the way over to Riverwood? I don't remember this road. That's a neat little road. So, yeah, screw it. Let's do some house building so I can grind up my smithing skill even more. So, yes, anyway, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a full week since I last streamed. The reason why is I went on a little trip. Now, y'all may notice that I have been on many a trip this year. You know, I took like a 2-week-long hiatus back at the start of June. I took another hiatus. Well, I've done a few like kind of weekend trips that lasted, you know, 3 to 4 days. Those, you know, took some time. And then more recently I went on another like 2-week-long trip. and then this week-long trip. So Haru, why are you taking so many trips? Well, here's the thing. The first trip I took, back in June, was not at, like, it was a nice relaxation, and it was, like, my first actual break from VTubing. It, however, was not the relaxation I was hoping it would be, because the problem with that trip was, we're gonna need corundum. We are gonna need corundum. Because we need locks. Okay, well, first let's do iron fittings and hinges. Oh, we do have some corundum. Exactly one. Perfect. I'll take it. Alright, build our... Okay, 30 quarried stone. Oh, we're gonna need a lot of quarried stone. Okay, okay. We should have a pickaxe. There we go. So, yes, that one was fine, you know. The downside of it being, it was a very long trip. You know, I rode on a train, which was nice, you know. It's been a while since I've been on a train. And this was actually an overnight train. I think my first ever overnight train. The problem with that trip was a couple things. Number one, COVID is the thing. Y'all remember COVID? You better still remember COVID because it's still a thing. Yeah, so, and because the train is public transportation, there are all sorts of restrictions in play. Which was very annoying. Necessary, like, I totally understand the restrictions, they were just annoying. So that was one issue with that trip that made it not as relaxing. And all of that would have been fine if not for the fact that I was also traveling with my grandpa, who had a number of issues. He was getting on in years, and also happened to have dementia and pulmonary fibrosis, which made life really hard for him, and he complained a lot about a lot of things. So as relaxing as the trip was supposed to be, it wasn't really all that relaxing. A lot of the time, anyway. So that was the first trip. Second trip, remember that same grandpa? Yeah, he passed away this year. So, other trip was, I had to go and, you know, funeral stuff. And then another trip that was a long planned family trip, to go and travel out to Colorado. So we did that. So yeah, we traveled to Colorado, we traveled to Grandpa's funeral, and we also went all the way out west. Now, all that is great. All that is, you know, traveling and me taking breaks and all that good stuff. But you know one thing it was lacking? Independence. All those trips were fun, but, you know, I was kind of traveling with with family members, and as fun as it is to travel with family, the fact is I was traveling with family that I've been living with for the past 2 years or something. So it's family that I'm very used to, and I kind of wanted to get away from them. So I had another trip. This trip was for me to go all the way to visit some VTuber friends. So, yeah, 3 of my good friends that happen to be VTubers, you know, just live, and I wanted to go visit them, so I said, fuck it. I went ahead and visited. Now, how do you get there? Because here's the thing, the furthest away of them lived all the way over on the East Coast. I live in Illinois, remember. So I had to go all the way to the East Coast somehow. Way number one that I could have done it is, you know, with a plane. But planes aren't cheap. They've also got all these COVID restrictions, and they make traveling a little bit more complicated. You have to, you know, make sure you're packing all the right things, and also make sure you don't pack certain things, and that would have been a major hassle. Would have been fine, but not ideal. Plan number 2. Take a bus all the way out there. You know, those Greyhound buses? I'll bet you that would have been a major hassle. Would have been fine, probably, but not ideal. I don't think I've taken a Greyhound. I have friends that have, but I don't think I have myself. So there was that. Then we had so yeah, I considered that. I also considered train. And you all know how the first train trip went. Not that I wouldn't have been fine, but you know. Also, train is a little bit expensive. Which left car. Now, ideally, I would have just been able to drive, like, a car that my family owns. We are in the process of getting my grandma a new car, and so we would have ended up with her current car, but that hasn't happened yet, so I wasn't able to drive that. So I rented a car. And that, on top of all the hotels I stayed in, all by myself, let's just say Haru is an adult. I have done so much adult stuff just this past week. All that on top of just me living by myself. Hang on, sorry. One of my nails is broken. This is getting annoying. Come on. Stop it. I wish I had clippers with me. Okay. That should be taken care of. No, put that away. Yeah, so lots of adult stuff. But no, here's the cool thing. You know, I visited 3 VTuber friends. Believe it or not, VTubers are real. I've met them in real life, and they do give good hugs. I very much enjoyed visiting them. I had a great time. Yeah. And on top of all that, I traveled by myself. You are too very real. I traveled by myself, and I had a bit of independence away from my family, which was great because I need to get away. I really needed to get away, so I did. So all that, and on top of all that, I visited just people that I really, really wanted to see, and I did. I got to see them. It was nice. I enjoyed it. Also, hang on. What do I have equipped? Of course it's the Amulet of Zenithar. Okay. So, I'm getting a little distracted here. What do I need? I need iron nails. I need nails. So, yeah, how's everyone else doing? I hope you all had a great week. For those who were not aware, or even if you were aware, fuck it, we're gonna talk about this. Because it's important. On... what day was it? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday was an organized protest against Twitch. A day off Twitch. Now, I don't normally... You're doing well, a little bit tired, but it's Friday evening. Good to hear, Jeremy. And it's good to see you here, too. Yeah, Friday evening is a good time. Yeah, so... I don't normally get major, like, super political on here. I do occasionally bring it up, but this is kind of important, and it actually kind of directly affects me and everyone else that I talk to that are streamers over on Twitch. So, yeah, hate raids are a thing. And considering that Twitch is a platform that people of all sorts of different identities and backgrounds use, people of certain identities and backgrounds that tend to be marginalized and targeted are vulnerable to hate. So... We had this whole protest, basically, because Twitch was doing jack all about it. They just didn't care. So, yeah, you know? Stop streaming for a day, don't watch any streams for the day, just, you know... Well, like, don't do it on Twitch. That's the thing. You're allowed to do it anywhere else, just not on Twitch. Now, I was, at the time, as you know, away. Like, I was out of town. I wasn't planning on streaming anyway. But, you know, solidarity and, like, so mine wasn't an active participation, but I would have participated anyway, even if I had been in town and with the equipment that I used to stream, I still would have just said, nah, fuck it. So, Twitch did respond. Many of you may have received an email from Twitch that kind of addresses all the problems. So, I kind of skimmed the email, I'll admit. I haven't taken the time to fully read all the details in there. That said, it's a good sign. It is a step forward. Essentially, they said something along the lines of, we are aware of all your concerns and issues. We have been working on a lot of stuff, and we hope to get that all to you soon. You know, stuff like that. Which is great, you know, it's great that they've heard, not only that they've heard us, but they actually are planning on doing something about it. That's great. Now, as for the actual timeline, didn't they say, like, the 15th? Somewhere around, you know, middle of the month. We should expect to see results. So, that was fine. You know, that's kind of fun. Fun? Fun's not the right word. But yeah, no, it's cool that we got that much out of them. Which was admittedly more than I expected. I kind of just expected them to brush it off. You know, like... So, the fact that they actually... I did craft a hinge, right? No, I didn't. I crafted iron fittings. Yeah, the fact that they responded at all, and that they do have stuff planned, that's a good sign. So, yeah, presentation on moderation tools, that's it. Now, is it perfect? I don't think so, but it's a whole lot better than just saying, we hear you. You know, it's an actual action, it's an action that they're taking. So yeah, there's that. That was a whole thing. Next up, what else? I should just craft one of each of these. I can't remember what I needed, and I know for a fact I'm gonna need them soon. So, yes. What else? What else? What else? That was that topic. Like, we could go all in, but honestly, I don't think I can really say anything that hasn't already been said. More iron fittings, okay. Yeah, I don't think I can really say anything that hasn't already been said. You know. And I've already said a lot on Twitter about it too, so I don't really need to be repeating myself all that much. But so yeah, there's that. Other stuff to talk about and update you on. So, while I was out, you know, out east visiting friends, and oh, it was such a good visit. I am very happy I did it. I got a lot out of it. Just getting to actually meet these people that I admire and enjoy just interacting with online. I got to do it in person too, you know? That was super nice. So, but no. That's not the thing. What else did I get out of it? Well, I have some skirts now. You may have seen me get super excited over on Twitter and or Discord on, what day was it? The 30th? Yes, the 30th. 30th? Yeah, that was the day. I went to a Goodwill on Monday morning. 'Cause here's the thing. The thing that's kept me from having any skirts this whole time was, I guess, shyness. Because it's not a matter of, like, you know, oh, my parents wouldn't, like, they'd be totally against me having them. It's just, you know, me not wanting to draw too much attention to it, you know? So, anytime I went to a thrift store, or whatever, which is the perfect place to get skirts, or any apparel that you want, basically, thrift stores are amazing. Because, you know, my winter coat that I currently own, the last two winter coats that I have, actually, I both got them at thrift stores. I've gotten a number of, I think, pants and maybe t-shirts, definitely hoodies. I've gotten a lot of hoodies from thrift stores. They're just great, you know? So, every time I've been, I was there with family, you know, parents or other family members. And it's not that they'd have anything against it. It's just like, again, it feels like I'd be attracting attention to it because it's something I haven't gotten in the past. And they'd be all over it, you know. They'd be too supportive, is the thing. They would be too supportive, as in just like, oh, cool, that's so awesome. Hey, yeah, cool, you got skirts, woohoo. And I'd be like, no, come on, shh. Stop saying it, don't talk about it, please. I just did the thing. I just, shut up. So, that happened. But because well, no, that didn't happen, that's the thing. But because I was by myself, and it was actually, like, right after the Goodwill had opened, so not that many people were in there in the first place, I'm like, today's the day. Today is the day that I go in there and purchase myself a skirt. And then, lo and behold, I got two skirts for $10. $10 total. That was $5 a piece. And ooh, boy, does it feel amazing to have them. It feels awesome. Liberating. Oh, I love it. So, yeah, there's that. It feels nice. It's a major accomplishment for me. And yeah. Okay, what do we need? I'm just hopping around. What do I need? Corundum, probably. I need to hit up. Okay, we need to drop off stuff. We need to hit up a general store. Yeah, we don't need all this clay or all this glass. Goodbye iron. Why did I drop the moonstone? I don't know. Definitely don't need all that quartz stone. Alright. It is going to bother me that the moonstone's in there, so we're going to take it back. There we go. Alright. To the general store. So. Yeah, that was the thing that happened. It was just very nice. You know, the person I was staying with for that day, you know, I changed into one of those skirts at their house and just kind of wore it the entire time I was there. It was amazing. Probably the best day of my life. I don't know, that might be an exaggeration, but definitely one of the best days I had in a long time. So, that gave me a little bit of a confidence boost, but maybe too much of a confidence boost. Because the next day, I went to go see a different friend, one who is hopefully still in chat, or even if they're not, it's fine. But no, one who was here in chat. Oh, it's a dragon. Cool. Hello, dragon. So, yeah, they're... Okay. So, yeah, I basically was like, you know what? It'll be cool if I just showed up wearing one of these. That'd be really awesome. I would enjoy that. And then, during the long, I think it was like a 30-minute car ride on over there, because I wore the skirt out of the hotel. Couple people saw me. It was totally fine. And by totally fine, I mean it kind of raised my anxiety levels a little bit, because I'm not used to being perceived while I wear skirts. So I got in the car and drove. And on the long drive, you know, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna be so cool when I show up and I'm wearing this and they're gonna love it and it's gonna be super nice. And then, shortly afterwards, basically, I started getting second thoughts. I'm like, you know what? I'm in a strange place. I've never been here before. I don't know what the locals are like. They might not be super friendly. Especially not towards people that are different. And if I'm openly dressing differently than they might expect for someone who presents... for someone who doesn't really do well at presenting femme, it might cause issues and put myself in danger. So, was it gonna lead to that? Probably not, but my brain went all over the place with it, and essentially I had a mild panic attack in the car. You know, not something to keep me from being able to drive, but something for me to have my mind occupied and have my heart rate increase. So, in the parking lot of the place that I was going to meet this friend, in the car, switched back to pants. I could not do it. I wasn't ready for that yet.
Well met. Unlike my... some may call this...
Do we even need the general store? Technically, we just needed the, other place, whatever it's called. I guess I can sell you stuff while I'm here. Why not? Do I have filled anything like soul gem? No, I don't. Okay. So what I should probably do is see if you have any. You do. Okay. I'm not going to buy the grand just because I know that's going to be expensive, but I'll take these. There we go. And now, honestly, I should probably do crafting and then sell these back. So I'll do that. But in the meantime, I don't know why I have 5 pheasant. Why do I have 5 pheasant breasts? Anything else I could sell you? Probably, but not yet. I don't want to just yet. Actually, you don't happen to have iron ore... you do have iron ore. I'd rather an iron ingot. You do not have corundum. Okay.
Don't mind Boland. He's young and gets riled easily.
Hello, Lazy June. It's good to see you. So, yeah, that was you know, just a little story update about a big change in my life, but also
Take a look.
also this change can be very scary. Okay, with you, we want to buy corundum, just all of it. Give me all. Probably all the iron too. Now,
See me at my forge if you need arms or armor.
was I dumb and chose not to equip the Amulet of Zenithar before doing all that buying and selling? Maybe. But, thank you for the follow, Jared146, unless you are a bot. I wasn't dumb, I just forgot to. So, but it doesn't matter all that much. I'm swimming in gold. No bot here? Ah, good, good. Nice to see you. So, let's head back home and... oh, right, enchanting. We just bought all those soul gems, so we might as well do some enchanting. And there we go, the Jarl's Longhouse. Cool. Now, do you have an enchanting table? They usually do. There's one. Alright. Don't have anything to disenchant. Let's get to enchanting then. Alright, so we need... I believe it's archery, or is it carry weight? It's carry weight. Carry weight is rather good. Okay, can't do carry weight, so for you we'll do archery. We do have these now. And I do believe that guy was selling Grand Soul Gems. Ooh, that's something to think about. Yeah, I mean, I've got the money for it, so why not? Yeah, let's go for carry weight here and carry weight here. Okay, so that's a little bit of enchanting done.
I'm the steward here. I serve under Jarl's. Said can sometimes act too quickly, but he does listen to help every now.
I really hope I can get this fan fixed. It's really getting on my nerves. Okay. No, you're not the person I want to sell stuff to. It's the general store person. Also, before I forget, now I am gonna forget to switch back. What do you mean it's 11:30. Why are you locked? Ooh. Dial M for Mac. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, friend. Tentacle raid. Yay. Okay. Hello. Yeah, why is the general store locked up? Does it have any reason to be? Okay. We're gonna break in. Nope. Who's perceiving me? Stop it. Let's do some breaking and entering, and then we'll get yelled at. And then we should hopefully just leave and come back. I'm not supposed to be in here. Oh yeah? Well, why did you lock up in the middle of the day? Okay, well we did get a level up, so let's look at that. What do we need? Either health or magicka. What was I going for? I think 200 magicka is our current goal. Alright, smithing and... So, really nothing I can really get in smithing that I care for. What about enchanting? We could get enchanter. Honestly, yeah, enchanting is going up nice and fast. We're up to 60. Okay, so that's something. But heavy armor. Okay, so heavy armor is a ways away. We really don't need cushioned. I mean, it leads to conditioning, which is very, very good. What about block? Okay, so not much there that I care for. Alteration. We could take level 2 of magic resistance. Alternatively, adept alteration. Oh, Skylos, thank you for the raid. Yeah, Skylos Cerberus. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Adept alteration, magic resistance 2. We have started to go into restoration. Recovery is nice, but honestly we don't need magic regen. Yeah, we don't need it. What could we need though? I'm not sure. I think we're fine on alteration, actually. Let's go enchanting. Now, the question is, do we take... Actually, yes. Yes, we do. Unless... Ooh, Corpus Enchanter 70. But Insightful Enchanter. Ooh, this is tough. Do we take Insightful Enchanter or Enchanter 4? Or wait, would that be 4 or 3? We have 3, right? Yeah, we have 3. So do we take Enchanter 4 or do we take Insightful Enchanter? I'm going to take Enchanter 4. That is going to affect everything. Whereas Insightful Enchanter would be fine, but I'm not confident it would boost the things that I want it to. So, yeah. Anyway. Grapevine Goods is still locked up. Why? Why are you locked up? It's the middle of the day. You have no reason to be locked up. Are you gonna yell at me? Am I not? Why am I not supposed to be in here? Alright. We could maybe console command our way in. If we wanted to. Yeah. No. Alright.
Can a man have a bit of privacy? Get out of here.
You're running a store. And it's noon.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. He's being dumb. He's being a dumbass. What if we wait an hour? Wait an hour, go inside.
You're not supposed to be here.
Oh my god. Okay, so what do we do now? Also, who are you? Delicate?
I'm a bard, trained at the Bard's College in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. A song in your heart to ward off the gloom. Yes?
Interesting. Can you go inside the shop? Well, he tried to. He did. Okay, he went inside. I'm gonna go inside too.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Okay, this is just straight up racism.
This is the last time.
This is straight up racism. Because this guy here is allowed in the store. And he's, I don't know, Nord? Maybe Breton? I don't know what he is, but he's human. I'm a cat, and I'm not allowed in the store. Oh my god.
Get out.
Okay. I see how it is. Well, you don't deserve my business anyway. Okay. Well, let's go back to the house, do a bit of crafting, and then maybe we'll come back and maybe he'll let us shop again. Skyrim just be Skyrim. Don't it just be Skyrim. Okay. Were any of you watching Maru earlier with their drunk Skyrim stream? That was pretty neat, pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Also, look at, oh, it's a nice sunny day. Don't you love to see it? Yeah, I was watching Maru's Skyrim stream right before mine, actually. And it was entertaining. Apparently Maru is a, like, affectionate drunk who gushes about people like I am. So, that's neat. Also, I be in a lot of pain. My body aches. All the driving I did. Just so much pain. It's not anything I haven't felt before, like I'll be fine, but also just like, ugh. Ugh. Oh, we need to hit up a lumber mill too. Okay, we'll do that. But basically, yeah, I did all this traveling and stuff. I also went bowling with one of the people that I went to visit, so, and it was super fun. I was glad I did it, but boy was I sore, and still am sore from it. So, you know, ideally, I would, you know, pop an edible, sit back, chillax, and pain would be gone. Speaking of, it does actually help my pain. I should probably see about getting a medical card. That would be nice. Because I do kind of have, like, you know, pains around my hands and stuff, just with, like, various tendons. So, that might be something I could get looked at. Looking to getting a medical card. But anyway, that doesn't matter because, oh, thank you for the Hydrate Praetor Seal. Yeah. None of that matters because I'm going to Japan in exactly a month. 1 month from now, I will not be in the country anymore. So, and they have heavy-ass laws policing against the possession of and consumption of marijuana. So, in case I get drug tested, I need to stay sober. And, oh, I hate being sober. It's not that I hate it. It's just, I don't like to be in pain. Yeah, it'll be fun when I'm there, I'm sure of it. I'll just have to turn to, and there's the other hydrate, I'll just have to turn to other means of numbing the senses. Alcohol being one of them. So, high streams are no more, but drunk streams are probably gonna be slightly more frequent. So, anyway, what was I here for? Nails, glass. Ooh, Grand Soul Gem. Does that need to be a filled Grand Soul Gem? Who knows? You're not going to worry about any of these. These are just decor, and they don't even boost your, like, they don't require you to have anything that you craft that will in turn boost your smithing skill. So they're fine, they're nice to have, but not at all a priority. This, however, the Arcane Enchanter I do want, because I do enchanting. That is going to require nails, glass. I do have those two things. Gold ingot I could probably easily get my hands on. The one thing I'm going to struggle with is the Grand Soul Gem. So, I would be able to get one if I were allowed to shop at that. Oh! Ooh, yes. So, we need. This is what we need. Because we now have corundum, meaning we can now craft locks. Somebody help! Oh! It was just wolves. You didn't need to cry for help. Alright. Let's first off grab our nails. And the iron too, because there are the nails, the hinges. Alright. So let's go ahead and craft everything. Hinge, iron fitting, lock, nails. Alright. Out of my way. Let's go back and craft some stuff. Yeah, Vilcus is probably all like, oh, why are you taking so long? We've got a quest due to collect the fragments of Wuthrad, and I'm just all like, bruh, I just want to build my house. I just want to build my house. I don't need to go on this massive quest to collect the fragments of Wuthrad. I'll do that later. We're just here for chill. Chill Skyrim. Just some chill Skyrim. Okay. So, this is the Grand Soul Gem. Okay. Does anyone know off the top of their head, does that need to be a filled Grand Soul Gem, or can it just be empty? Sorry, I have so many notifications on Discord right now, and I wanted to make sure none of them were actually someone trying to reach out to me. And they're not. They're just good ol' at everyone's. Don't you love getting at everyone? Those are the best. All they are is a reminder of all the servers that you're in that you don't care about. Yeah, honestly, I could probably stand to not be in about half the servers that I'm in, but I'm kind of fine with the ones that I'm in, honestly. Even if I don't really interact too much with them, they are kind of like... You know how Discord servers are basically just friend groups, essentially. Like, each server is just a group of people that have a common interest or whatever. Everyone in that server has a reason to be in that server, and they become these little, cliques. There are definitely overlaps. By the way, let's take a look at how beautiful Skyrim is. breathe in that wonderful air. Big mountain, yes indeed. Hello, Big Onthoticus. So, yeah, Discord servers are kind of just like their own little cliques. You know, and, like, there's definitely overlap. Like, I could probably categorize all the servers that I'm in. You know, some of them lean more heavily towards the Vtuber community. Some of them lean more heavily towards the essentially live streamers that happen to be VTubers community. You know, that kind of group. You know, people that would have live streamed anyway, but they just decided to hop on the VTubing bandwagon. Which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an observation. Okay, are you gonna call? Oh my god!
You're not supposed to be in here. You're not supposed to.
You can't yell at me, Vilcus. You're not in charge. Alright, well I guess we're never shopping there again. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you really noticed that, but I've definitely noticed various, you know, you can essentially categorize everything. Who's cursed? Cussed. I mean, I would, but I'm not allowed to use destruction magic. I can, however, buy some lumber, because I'm gonna have to do this. It sucks that you can't really just spam buying lumber, because I need all the lumber in the world. And the dialogue is kinda slow to just match your way through. My hand is cramping up. My hand is cramping up. Not like it didn't hold a steering wheel for 12, at least 12 hours over the past 2 days. And then another 12 hours, minimum, for like the 2 days before then. And then all the driving that I did every single day. Oh my god, so much driving. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I want to own a car. It may be necessary. Oh my god. It may be necessary depending on where I end up living long term and, you know, how readily available transportation will be. But owning a car would be such a hassle. Okay, well, yeah, that dude's just being racist and not selling to Khajiits. So, what's our plan B? Our plan B is fast travel. I guess... Where should we go first? Riverwood might not be terrible. Honestly, Whiterun, and Whiterun is not... Like, neither Riverwood nor Whiterun are that far away. So I'm honestly fine with just walking there. So, yeah, right, Discord and servers and stuff. Yeah, like... I don't think there's much more to say about them, really. Just like, you know, they're kind of their own little friend circles. I find it interesting. Like, Discord was a place... So before I became a VTuber, it was actually just an app that I had because you just have Discord. Like, I never used it for anything. Really, I only used it because my friends from college would occasionally hop in voice chat to play EDH. And, you know, that was fun and all, but that's, like, it wasn't even really much of a server. In fact, we mostly communicate through Facebook, and still do. Which is really the only reason why I still have Facebook. I've kind of stopped using it altogether. But, you know, besides that, like, I would occasionally follow a YouTuber or some content creator who would be like, by the way, join my Discord, and I'd be like, cool, sure, I'll join your Discord. And then I did. And I never really did anything in there. Because interaction is hard. I find it's become a little bit easier since becoming a content creator and sort of establishing myself as a person. But in general, it's still not easy, especially not in servers where you haven't already been active. Oh, hello, bear. Okay. Stone flesh. So, yeah, you know, I've got various takes about that. It's hard to be active in a server if you haven't already been active in that server, which is kind of just like this self-fulfilling prophecy of I'm not going to be active in there because I'm not established, but I'm not going to be established with this group if I'm not active. You know, it's like one of the things has to happen first, and it's you being active. But yeah, basically, so that's the thing about Discord servers, right? Discord servers just be like that. So I have, besides that, right. Yeah, like I never used Discord for anything. Like, it was really just that one group from college when we play Magic, and a handful of servers that I joined because why not, and I never did anything with it. Actually, what even are the servers that I was in before? So, I know for a fact what 3 of them were. But I also know I was definitely... Well, no. I know what 4 of them were, but I don't know off the... Like, I know just visually in my mind that there were more than just 3 that I was a part of. Alright, so we're gonna have to stop by here real quick because shops are about to close. Yeah.
Thank you. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
So server number 1, you do have Grand Soul Gems, nice. I'll take one of you just in case. And honestly... Well, no, I don't think we really have anything to enchant anymore, do we? We could if we wanted to, but nah. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Is like I was in... Yeah, that's I think the only... I don't remember what made me make Discord in the first place, but I'm pretty sure that was like one of the reasons was so that I could play Magic with friends. So yeah, I totally get that, Jeremy. Cool. Let's drop everything. And honestly, just head back. Right? Because, like, we got what we came for. There isn't an... Is there an enchanter in Riverwood? I'm trying to remember. I can't think of one off the top of my head. There might be in one of the houses, or there might be... Actually, no, there... I know for a fact there is in the basement of... the Sleeping Giant Inn. That's what it's called, right? The Sleeping Giant. I could just read the sign, you know? Like what the sign is for. Yeah, the Sleeping Giant. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's what I acquired Discord for in the first place, but I never really talked to that many people. It was really just that. The 4 servers I can think of the top of my head are, number 1 was that Magic server that I played Magic with friends. Number 2 was a fan-made Discord server for Takanashi Kiara, my favorite Hololive member, and still is, I think, my favorite. Then... So, yeah. Then there was the Theoric 6 Discord server, which if you don't know who Theoric 6 is, I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly. He's like... So, he's an MTG content creator, pretty much exclusively does Magic the Gathering stuff, and it's like all on Arena. But I think he's branched out a tiny bit. Like, he occasionally does D&D stuff too now, I think. Or maybe some other stuff. But anyway, yeah, he does some things, but 90% of his content is going to be MTG and on Arena. He's really big into 3 major archetypes, I would say, for, like, decks. First of all, he loves black. Like, black is his favorite color in Magic, I think. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it is. And he kind of got me into liking black a lot more. But basically... Yeah, the 3 archetypes he really runs is Grixis control, specifically Bolas control. Even if Nicol Bolas isn't like the best thing to have in a deck, if he's playing Grixis, he will play Bolas. Then he's also a big fan of what he calls Jund-likes, which are essentially fair mid-range decks that run a lot of removal, run solid threats, and essentially are on the game plan of outvaluing your opponent by making better plays than them. That's essentially what mid-range is in general, is just like kind of control the board in the early game, land a solid threat in the mid-game and then pressure your opponent from there. He likes those kinds of decks. So Jund, Abzan, Mardu sometimes is like that. And so, yeah, that's another thing he does. And then on top of that is Death and Taxes. He's a big Taxes fan and has gotten me to like Taxes more. But anyway, enough about him. This is not a promotion for his channel. This is just a content creator that I enjoy and has gotten me to play various decks on Arena that I otherwise wouldn't have. And I do think he's pretty good at it. But anyway, all that aside, yeah, so it was his personal Discord that I joined as well. That was server number 3. And then server number 4 was actually the Vtube Studio Discord server, because that was right around the time when I decided I want to start becoming a VTuber and looking into that. And I heard about this great program called Vtube Studio and wanted to look into it. I mean, normally it's great. Today it's acting up for some reason. But yeah, so... No, I don't want the elf's ear. Why am I even looting these sacks? I know for a fact there's nothing good in them. But yeah, basically... Yeah, so I joined the Vtube Studio Discord as well. I'm gonna have to switch over to my other account just to see what all Discords I'm in. Because, yeah, that's a question. That is a question. But anyway, no, yeah, like, since becoming a VTuber, I've become so much more active in Discord. And I didn't start that way. Like, early on as a VTuber, I was just like, oh yeah, sure, I'll join various Discords, but I won't be active in them because I wasn't before, so why would I be now? But then, also real quick, okay, it is going to take a grand soul gem. That's a shame. Okay, so glass and gold ingot. We can get those pretty easily. Yeah, so at first I wasn't really that active of a person in Discord, you know? It was just like, it was fine. I was in a handful of servers that were run by people that I look up to, but I didn't really do anything in any of them. That said, I did eventually... Okay, do I have gold? Actually, we can just activate the smelter and find out. We don't. Okay. So we're gonna do a little thing called transmute. Alright, so yeah, like I joined a few servers run by people that I looked up to, and they were fine, but I didn't really stay active in any of them. The only servers that I eventually got active in, and then currently active in, are... So the first one that I became active in was... There's this Discord server run by a few people that I would consider friends. That's really focused on like VTubers that all kind of started around the same time. Essentially, the the concept is, or at least was when I joined it, that like these are all people that are part of the same generation of VTubers, you know? So that was a pretty neat, that and is a pretty neat server that I joined and, well, was invited to. It's like a kind of closed community. And you know, I'm glad I'm a part of it. And yeah, you know, a lot of my friends in the community I met through, or like got to know better through that server. So then I think the second server that I became active in is another, it's another one kind of like that, except this one is more focused on, well, actually it's kind of the same deal. It's people that are just close friends with one another. It's another closed server. Not that you can't invite people to it, but generally just ask permission before you do. And it's a server run by Vampire Ian, who is a massive sweetie, by the way. So, yeah, Ian's server was, well, it is like number 2 of servers that I became more active in and have connected with more friends, and they're kind of different friend groups. Like, there's a little bit of overlap. You know, you could make a Venn diagram of people that are in that server, that are in the first server, and people that are in both. Like, you could make that diagram. But for the most part, they're different friend groups, you know? Then on top of all that, server number 3 that I'm more active in is my own personal Discord server, which, by the way, if you are interested in, you can join right there if you just type in !Discord. Yeah, you know, there's my personal server that is run by 2 of my best friends in the community, Ian and Abysmal Curry. Just great people. It's a great community. Pretty small, you know, not that many people are active in it, but the people that are, I enjoy having them there. And then, so yeah, that's kind of server number 3 that I'm a little bit more active in. Then server number 4... Yeah, server number 4 is a server that I was admittedly kind of dragged into. Not that I'm complaining, but still. It's Kaede's personal Discord server, which he dragged, you know, he kind of made me a mod for that server, which, like, sure, cool, I'll do mod stuff for that server, and I guess since I'm a mod, I should probably be active in there, which is why I'm relatively active in that server. I'm not the most active, but, you know, I'm there. And then the 5th server that I'm starting to try to get more active in is actually the first VTuber Discord server that I joined as Haru Hayes, which is Gage. Gage the Mage, or Gigi, her server, Gage Pentagast. Yeah, I that's also a server that I'm in and am technically a mod in. I actually asked to be a mod in that server at the start when the existence and creation of that server was being brought up. And I'm like, yeah, I could totally mod for you. And then I just shut up because it was kind of, you know, I felt a little bit like an outcast from that circle, you know. Again, it's just how friend circles work, you know. It's just how it is. So, you know, there's that server, but I am trying to get a little bit more active in it because it is run by someone who I look up to and was like the first friend I made as a VTuber, and just like meeting them meant a lot to me. So yeah, totally, like I'm trying to be more active in that server too. So there's a list, a rundown that nobody asked for of all the servers that I'm active in and why. But yeah, no, like the main thing I've become more and more active in with Discord is just talking to people. Like it's totally different from Twitter. Like Twitter is fine. You can DM people on Twitter just fine, nothing wrong with that. But it's not perfect. And I feel like Discord kind of fills in everything that's wrong. Well, not wrong, but I don't know. It's just better at that, you know? You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's get to enchanting. What should we enchant? The boots or the helmet? Let's look at the helmet. What can we get on the helmet? So, alchemy, don't care. Alteration, don't need any of those. Nope. Probably don't care about either of these. Maybe fortify restoration. Nah, none of those are good. Okay, so let's look at the boots. What can we get on the boots? Carry weight, okay. Literally useless to me. And resist. Yeah, honestly, I guess getting fortify. Maybe maybe alteration. I really don't know. Fortify magicka, maybe. What do we do? Orcish helmet. Well, it is an orcish helmet. Do we do fortify restoration? Fortify alteration. I'm gonna go with alteration. Let's fortify alteration. There we go. So, how much do my alteration spells cost now? Honestly, I don't know how big of a difference that is. Alright, well, let's get to some more crafting, more housing stuff. Yay! Housing. Okay, so iron fittings, hinge. So many iron fittings. Okay, so just craft all the iron fittings, basically. Also, oops. Yeah, there's honey. I guess, actually, what I should do first, just as a quality of life thing, there, blacksmith anvil. Craft that. Because now, I don't have to leave every time that I want to craft something, I can just do it here. So, yeah, just a handful of iron fittings, some more nails. Anything else that I should talk about? Not that I should have talked about Discord in the first place. That was just like a random tangent. that's just how Skyrim be, you know? Just all the random tangents. Building houses in the game is, like, interesting. It's kind of therapeutic. It takes a little bit. Like, it's not the quickest thing in the world. Typically, you would probably be better off just, like, getting a steward and telling them to do things for you. But it's fine, you know? Like, it's surprising. Because of how much crafting it requires you to do, if you do decide to just not pay your steward to do everything for you. Okay, so we're gonna need glass and basically one of each. That's not a lock. Excuse me. Today has been a long day of a lot of driving, and it's also later than I usually stream. And I'm also a little bit out of practice, because I just took some time off. So, yeah, you know, like, you boost your smithing just by crafting. Because here's the thing, you know, the way smithing works in the game is you're not going to really boost your smithing all that much just by crafting random shit that doesn't really do anything. But you are still going to boost it. Like, that's still a thing that's going to happen. So, just by building a house, you're likely to get a few levels out of it. And there are 3 houses you can build. And you can build all of them. So it's pretty worth it. Now, onwards we go. Glass. I guess we could get glass. Yeah. So we've got beds now. That's nice to have. What's this? Ode to the Tundra Striders. Interesting. Don't think I've heard of that one. Alright, so let's go and get our glass. And actually, we'll probably want to convert this into an entry hall. Alright, glass. Give me that glass. Don't ask me why I'm not taking all the glass with me. I just decided not to. I decided I couldn't be bothered. Alright, so iron fittings. Also, so here's the thing with building the house. You make the lighting sources. So the most obvious lighting sources are wall sconces. Like, they are actual designated items in this crafting menu, the carpenter's workbench, that when you craft them, have the sole purpose of being a light source. And they have some aesthetic too. But those aren't the only things that are light sources. Like, sure, chandeliers too are designated light sources, but you also have various things that aren't obviously light sources. Like, for example, an arcane enchanter. This one's a little bit more obvious because you know an arcane enchanter comes with candles. But another example that is very often just going to be overlooked are the end tables. Because an end table, what is that? Well, it's just a storage unit. But sometimes they come with candles on top of them, and candles light up the room. So yeah, just a little neat detail about Skyrim and crafting and all that stuff. Okay, so we need iron fittings. We don't really need iron fittings, but we'll craft them. And weapon plaque. Alright. So. Looks like one of everything. Yep. We can do that pretty easily. Now you will find if you want to craft your own house, you're going to need a ton of iron. Like, iron ingots are gonna be just everything that you need. Alright, throw that on. Now, some shelves. Alright, nails. Yeah, see right there, wall shelves. Also come with light sources. Sometimes, not always, but there's something to look out for. So, what's next on the list again? What else do I need? So we do need more glass, but most importantly we need nails. Yeah, nails are one of the things we need a ton of. And yeah, right now our house is pretty quiet. We could maybe find ourselves a spouse. Now, who we want to marry is an excellent question. And then on top of that, ooh, goat horns. Yeah, we've got goat horns, right? Probably. Yeah, so on top of who we want to marry, there's also the question of us getting a steward. Normally, I would probably designate my housecarl as my steward. But I'm actually not Thane of Falkreath yet. So that'll be a little bit. Yeah, so we'll have to think about how we want to go about doing that. What hinges? Oh, right. This is what we were going for, the chandeliers. I was like, what? I could have sworn I went through all the trouble. No, I literally did not. Okay, so 2 glasses and a hinge. Alright. Glass, 2 of them. There we go. And craft myself a hinge. Nice. You know, smithing is moving in a direction that we want it to, which is good. It's very slow. There we go. That's about all the crafting we care about here. We could worry about the animal heads, but we don't really need to. Oh, I love you too, Maru. Hello. Yeah, so now we've got this place. Let's do some crafting here. So nails, nails, nails. Well, would you believe it? We need more nails. Let's see, iron fittings. Like, I think some people... Yeah, of course, Maru. I really enjoy watching you and your streams, and I had a lot of fun watching tonight's stream. And so yeah, like, let's see, iron fittings, nails hinge, so literally everything. Again, we're gonna need more glass soon. So yeah, you know, like, what was I talking about? I felt I was talking about something. Oh, we're fine on glass. Yeah, craft one of everything. Just one of everything. Yeah, we're gonna need to get this house to have, like, some livelihood to it, you know? And that means... also kids. That's a thing. Kids. We need kids. Also 3 steel ingots. Now steel is going to be a little bit more challenging. I don't have any. You can make it, however, with iron ore and corundum ore. But I only have 2 corundum ore. Of course I don't, Maru. I love it when people fall asleep to my streams. It's, like, nice to know that out of all the potential people that you chose, that you would choose me as your bedtime story, if you will. Or, alternatively, it's also nice to know that my voice is relaxing enough to you that you can fall asleep to it. I try to be very chill, except the times when I'm mad and cussing and just all together being irritable. But normally, that's not the case. Let's see. So, what else do I need to do? What was the thing I need to do? What was the thing that I need to do? Does anyone remember? I'm forgetful. Something to do. Steel! Right, steel ingots. Oh, okay, we'll forget those for now, because we need corundum, and we don't have enough. Well, actually, okay, we're gonna craft the steel ingots that we can. And then we'll just work our way from there. Yeah, so 2 steel. We'll need 3, but that's the best we can get for now. We're actually probably running low on iron too, aren't we? So yeah, what else do we need? We need... yeah, so ignore that safe, but we could get some iron fittings, and I don't mind iron fittings. Also, one second. Yes, craft you more nails. I just noticed we actually have access to now bone mold armor. Interesting. So it's heavy armor. Let's just take a look at the armor itself. So 95. Not as good as Orcish. Okay, so forget that. What is it as good as? Not even Dwarven? Well, what's the use of bone mold? So bone mold is terrible and never craft it. Got it. That's That's a shame. I was hoping it would be like equivalent to Orcish or something, and I could maybe switch things up. But nope. Guess not. More iron fittings. I hope this is entertaining for you all. What are you all up to? Also, speaking of lurking in streams or stuff related to it, something that I've been doing as I lurk in other people's streams is practice my drawing on my drawing tablet, which I have not done all this past week. I did pack the drawing tablet, but I actually like the software, like the drivers to use it, and also the program that I use to sketch on are not on my laptop, which is what I packed, because believe it or not, I did not pack my desktop PC on a trip. No, yeah, it was my laptop, which does not have that stuff. I did have the potential idea of, like, if I wanted to and had the time for it, I would download it. Like, download the drivers and the software, but I just didn't get around to it, so I am a little bit out of practice. Now, that's not to say, alright, Lazy June, thank you for stopping by and have a good stream. Yeah, so yeah, like I did some practice before I left on my trip, but I haven't done any during the trip. And that's not to say that I couldn't have just, you know, taken a pen or pencil and done some sketching on the notepads that every hotel room has. I totally could have. I just didn't because I was lazy. So, yeah, there's that. So, now that I'm back home, I should definitely get back into the habit of doing that, because here's the thing. You can't get better unless you practice. However, you can get much worse if you don't practice. So, yeah, I definitely want to get back in the habit of doing that, because that is something that I want to be doing. Like, well, it's not that I want... It's not so much that I want to be doing the practice. I want to get good at it, which means I have to do the practice. You know? That's the thing. You're not going to get very far at all. And... yeah, you're not going to get very far at all with it unless you do practice. So, as they say, practice makes perfect. You're never going to get perfect. That's just the thing about life. You're never going to get perfect. But you'll get better. That's the thing. That phrase, practice makes perfect, isn't actually factual. Because perfection is something that can never be achieved by a person. The only reason that phrase exists is because it's alliteration, and therefore easy to remember and easy to say. So, you know, it has its merits, but it's not perfect. Just as everything in the world is not perfect. But yeah. We got our nice house. It's a nice misty morning. Speaking of misty mornings, if you are familiar with... So here's where my brain goes with the statement misty morning. Do you know the song Misty Mountains? It's the... I believe... Hobbit? Like, I believe it's a song from The Hobbit, but it might just be a song from Lord of the Rings in general. Either way, the Misty Mountain song, great song, do enjoy listening to it. But the thing I'm getting to is talking about Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings based stuff. Okay, so there's two tangents that I want to go on here, and we'll see if I can get back to tangent number 2 whenever I finish tangent number 1. So tangent number 1, regarding Lord of the Rings stuff. Lord of the Rings is something that it's kind of one of those pop culture things that I myself didn't really grow up being that much into. But I had friends that were, and basically anyone that you talked to ever at least knew what it was. Where am I going? What am I doing? What's my goal? We need steel. Actually, yeah, what is my goal? Hang on. Before I go on this whole Lord of the Rings tangent, what's going on? Come on. It was probably... Yeah, okay, so that's it. We still need steel, which means I need corundum, which means I need to go all the way back to town. Alright, so... Yeah, it's like... It's a thing that my friends were into, like, at least a couple of my friends in particular. But it was something that I myself, like, I've heard bits and pieces of it, but I never really followed the whole story altogether. That is up until I did watch the movies, but I'll admit the first time I watched the movies, whenever that was, I wasn't paying super close attention. I got the gist of the plot. That's the important thing. I got the gist of the plot. But then I kind of like hit, before becoming a VTuber, I kind of hit a bit of a Lord of the Rings obsession. Which started with, yeah, it started with me working at my old job, which involves a lot of just menial tasks of just, like, you can kind of, like, fall into a rhythm of doing it, and therefore I can just kind of listen to an audiobook if I wanted to while I'm at work. So that's what I did. I went ahead. Hang on. I need to beat the shit out of this person. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, like, I totally had the freedom to just listen to whatever I wanted. Like, as long as I kept one ear open and just talk and, you know, talk to people as they came down, and help them out, or, you know, if it was my boss, pay attention to him. But yeah, basically, I had a decent amount of freedom to just do what I want. So I kind of got into Audible and listened to a lot of audiobooks. And one of the audiobooks that I selected to listen to was the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, which took a long time to get through, but I did get through. And that was something. That kind of got me into the Shadow of Mordor, if any of you know that game, and its sequel, Shadow of War, which, by the way, I do want to play Shadow of Mordor on stream at some point, because I actually never finished that game. I started it and had fun playing it while I did play it, but I never finished it. So I do want to kind of start over from scratch and do it on stream at some point. It's on my mental list of games that I want to finish on, that I want to like stream, but I have to finish up the games I'm currently streaming. So yeah, that was one thing. And then yeah, like, upon listening to the books, listening to the books, playing that game, and then just kind of Wikipediaing and Googling, I kind of pieced together, like, bits of the extra lore and fun stuff about that with the Lord of the Rings. And then when I got into Hololive, about a month ago, actually, not a month ago, a year ago, about a year ago to this very month. Oh, you don't have any corona. That's a shame. Basically, I went to, Takanashi Kiara. Finally, you're gonna sell to me. Okay. Yeah, so I got into Hololive, and Kiara was the Hololive member that I enjoyed the most. Oh, thank you, Jasper, for the raid. So, there's that. With Hololive and all that stuff. So, how this relates to Lord of the Rings is Kiara is a big Lord of the Rings nerd, and she did a watch-along for each of the movies, and only for her members, and that was the reason I joined her membership, was so that I could specifically go back and watch those watch-alongs, like their archives. So, basically, yeah, I did that, and watched the movies that way. And that kind of was the end of the whole Lord of the Rings craze for me. You know, after that, I got my fulfillment out of it. I enjoyed it. I kind of saw everything I wanted to, which is cool. Then, after all that, basically, we didn't get any corundum, did we? No, we did not. I guess we should head to Riverwood then. So that's one Lord of the Rings based tangent. The other tangent, though, is actually only slightly related to Lord of the Rings. We will get there. Basically, on this whole long-ass car trip that I took this past week, I needed something to listen to. Yes, I have music, but music only, like, goes so far with being something you want to listen to. Podcasts are honestly really great, because you can listen to however many episodes, and, like, they're not as much of a commitment as audiobooks, and they're more, like, they're more of a discussion than music is. So, in between listening to my music, I listen to audiobooks. Not audiobooks. Podcasts. And the podcast that I chose to listen to was, what was it? It was, the Arena Craft podcast. That's what it's called. So that's another thing, too, like, at my old workplace, between listening to audiobooks and music, I would also listen to podcasts occasionally. Really, the only podcast that I kind of want to get back into listening to is the Arena Craft podcast, which is hosted by Arjuna and CGB, Covert Go Blue, which are two relatively big name content creators in the MTG community, especially CGB. You might not have heard of Arjuna, but if you follow MTG content, you're probably going to know CGB. So yeah, those two host that podcast together, and they basically talk about MTG, specifically focusing on Arena. Now, the downside of the podcast is they're specialized and focused on things like what they're into on Arena. So they're not necessarily going to be talking too much about historic or historic brawl or even Jumpstart, because, like, they don't like that stuff necessarily, or draft even. Like, some drafts they'll talk about, but usually they're talking about, at least more recently, they're talking about constructed. Not that historic and historic brawl isn't constructed, but they really like standard is the thing. They really like standard, especially standard 2022, which are two formats that I don't really care all that much about. But it's interesting to hear them talk about it, and makes me kind of interested in playing it, but not totally interested in playing it. But basically, yeah, they talk about standard, and so, yeah, there's interesting takes, just hearing their takes on a whole bunch of everything Magic related. But, okay, hang on. Nernroot, Okay, we do still need Nernroot, got it. So, yes, the Arena Craft podcast. Now, the episode that I listened to most recently was their episode that I believe dropped Tuesday, but for some reason it didn't show up on my podcast until today. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it was recorded Tuesday and uploaded today. I'm not sure. But basically, they talked about the most recent MTG, like, big content thing. No, I want your shop. Open up your shop, please. Let me buy from you. So, yeah, Wizards of the Coast. Ugh. Excuse me, it's later than I'm used to. it's later than I'm used to streaming, and I'm talking a lot. But basically, Wizards of the Coast hosted like an event where they basically showcased what the next 2 years worth of MTG content is gonna look like. So, you know, they bring up a few, you know, like what the biggest sets. Oh, hang on.
Over at the Sleeping Giant. You do this?
Yeah, so?
Ah, I knew it. Had your name written all over it, that one did.
Huh, that ain't nothing. Wait till you see what I got planned for next week.
I've never heard that conversation before.
Here for work? Get an axe.
So, basically, yeah, it's a showcase where they're like, okay, here are the big events we have planned for the next 2 years of MTG. And some of it is stuff based off of, you know, what their in-house product, you know, projects are going to be. You know, like the next main sets that are coming out. And some of it was, you know, more specialized stuff. So basically, everyone knows about Innistrad and the next Innistrad set that's coming out. That's going to be super lit, super cool. First Innistrad set that's coming out is going to be this next month. It's going to be October, right? Yeah. That's when Midnight Hunt comes out, the Innistrad set that's focused around werewolves, and then the set after that is, I believe, focused on vampires. Then, I don't remember the order exactly of when all these are going to come out, but there's also going to be a Kamigawa set. We're finally going back to Kamigawa, but it's Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk Kamigawa. Holy shit. That's going to be insane. It's like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty or something. Oh my god. I'm excited for that. Then on top of that, past, you know, after Kamigawa, there's gonna be, you know, we've been waiting a long time to go back to Kamigawa, and they're doing it like this. Good for them. Then, we have a set that's focused on... This one was a little bit unclear. So this is a set that, well, like, we don't really know much about. It's set on a plane that's basically like it's a plane we've never been to before, and it's run by 5 mob families, like crime boss families. So we're talking like organized crime, Godfather type deal. And each of these families is represented by one of the shards. You know, the 5 3-color shards that are, you know, allied colors. Those are Bant, Grixis, Naya, Jund, and Esper. Those are the 5 shards. They're probably going to be named something a little bit different. Kind of similar to what we had with Ikoria, where those were based around the wedges. and they named each wedge a different thing from what we're used to calling them. So, like, an example would be... I can't even remember which one is which off the top of my head. But, like, Indatha and Raugrin, and those are really the only two I can think of off the top of my head. I believe Raugrin is instead of Temur. So that's an example right there. That's basically what this is most likely going to be with the new shards, is they're going to be named something different, but they're still just going to be the shards. So, that's going to be interesting. But the next up, we have Dominaria United, which is a, you know, going back to Dominaria. It is, I believe, the 30-year anniversary set, so they're going to be talking about a lot of, like, historical stuff with, like, the history of magic and things like that, which will be fun. Then after that, I believe, is Brothers War, which I think that's a whole set on its own, is Brothers War. And then after that, what is after that? I can't remember. I think that's it for, like, main sets. And don't worry, I'm getting to where Lord of the Rings fits into all this. There's also gonna be new Jumpstart, which I'm totally down for. The Arena Craft podcast does not really like Jumpstart all that much, which, fair. Like, they're the pros, they are very focused on, like, Constructed, and they're not a huge fan of, like, Jumpstart as a format. I'm here for it, though. I'm personally a pretty big fan of Jumpstart, although I do totally see why they would have problems with it. I totally get that. But, hang on. First off, we want, yes, this. So, yeah, like, that's the thing with the arena craft and all that. But then, if any of you are aware of the good old-fashioned, what's it called? Secret Lair. If any of you are aware of Secret Lairs, they kinda, well, first of all, they're big money grabbers. But Secret Lairs are essentially, limited time purchases, like limited run, and you kind of have to get in an online queue in order to get them. Printings of Magic cards that are, I believe, legal to play in basically Commander, Legacy, and Vintage. And so, yeah, that's a thing. And one of the things is so, yeah, like, it's fine. I've gotten exactly one secret lair in all of history, and it was the Snowland secret lair, which was pretty cool. But then I decided, you know what? It's not really for me. So I kind of stopped, you know, I stopped at 1. But this is extremely controversial, and it's all about licensing and money making. There's a fucking Fortnite secret lair on the way. Now, no shade at Fortnite and people that like it. Like, if you like a game, good for you. You know, it's no shade on that. That said, I'm not a huge fan of the whole crossover between Fortnite and MTG. You know, I'm cool with Fortnite, as in, I'm cool with it at arm's length. I'm not personally a fan. But the fact that it's being crossed over into MTG basically means... Ugh. But it's not the worst thing in the world, because, like, I can just ignore it, because it's just... It's only going to be relevant to, like, Commander, Legacy, and Vintage. Maybe even not then. Like, they could just be really terrible cards that aren't worth playing. So, it's not going to affect me too much, but the fact that it exists is the thing. But all that aside, this isn't the only major licensing thing Wizards has done with all this. The other thing is... there's gonna be a whole... like, an entire set of, basically, Lord of the Rings. I'm kind of stoked. I'm kind of stoked for that. Okay, hang on. I need to focus. What do I need? I'm pretty sure it's iron fittings. I just want to make sure. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of stoked for that, honestly. Because getting... Nope. Because getting... Basically, you're gonna be able to play, like, Gandalf and Frodo, and the One Ring is most likely gonna be an artifact, and all this different cool stuff, you know? It's gonna be in Magic. I'm kind of down for that. Other stuff is, I think there's like a Warhammer 40k crossover, which is pretty neat. Warhammer 40k being a thing. So, although here's the thing, and the Arena Craft, I believe it was CGB that put it in a great way, was basically Warhammer players and Magic players are very familiar with each other and very aware of each other. They're not, like, they have had opportunities to cross over into each other's realms. The ones that I've still decided not to, have decided not to for reasons, you know, like we've made active decisions not to get into Warhammer 40k or not to get into Magic. So this crossover is just kind of like, because here's the relationship between Warhammer and Magic players. They compete with each other for table space at LGS. That's literally it. Like, we'll look at each other across the room and basically be like, you stay on your side, we'll stay on ours. You're basically just taking up more space that more Magic players could take. Hello, Ellie. So, yeah, it's Warhammer and Magic crossover. You know, I think that's a good analogy, is basically like, we've had opportunities to cross over into each other's paths, and those that have not already done so have not done so for a reason. I'm doing pretty good, Ellie. How are you? So, yeah, that's basically that whole take on all that stuff. I think there's other stuff too. There's like a new unset coming out, which, cool, I guess. You're doing awesome. That's great to hear. So, I think that's about all the house building we're gonna do. For now. We're not done with this house. But honestly, I think next time we get to Skyrim, we want to do something a little bit, we are building Lakeview Manor. Next time we might as well continue on with the Companions questline, so we should be heading up there now, because I guarantee you I'm not going to remember that next time I play Skyrim on stream. I'm gonna see that I'm like right next to my house. I'm like, oh great, another house building stream. No. I'm gonna make my way over there right now, because otherwise I guarantee you I will forget. And we're gonna walk the whole way there too, because why not? It's Skyrim. Lovely world. And also, this walk is gonna be one of my favorite, like, regions of Skyrim. So that's also cool. Yeah. Now, yes, I have done a whole lot of chatting over the past 2.5 hours. So, let's just have some nice little silence of just enjoying the music and enjoying Skyrim. This game is gorgeous. It it's old. And some of the character models have not aged well, but the world is still just amazing. Yeah, it's very good. I enjoy it. So, all that said, we just had like a full moment of silence. I feel like I had something in mind to mention, or talk about, or bring up, but I can't remember what it was. Skyrim is pretty, but Oblivion's world seems so much prettier to you. That's fair. That's totally valid. Skyrim's particular to me. It was the first Elder Scrolls game that I played. And every time I come back to Skyrim, like, the different regions just really... they all hit in different places. Oblivion's world is also very pretty. Cyrodiil, it looks very nice. But yeah, like, for me, it doesn't have the same nostalgia hit that Skyrim does, I guess. That said, I am looking forward to Skyblivion, and I'm also looking forward to there's gonna be a mod that's beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil, which is not Skyblivion. It's like a full, essentially like a brand new game. It's using the Skyrim engine, but set in Cyrodiil. And that'll be interesting. You know, it's got its whole new storyline and all that. That'll be interesting, but the main thing I'm excited for with it is just the fact that it's going to be Cyrodiil recreated in the Skyrim engine. Yeah, the Beyond Skyrim project I'm excited for. Yeah, I'd totally get that, Ellie. Like, I can definitely see the appeal of Oblivion and like why people enjoy it. Like, yeah, it does look very nice. Also very fair. Also very fair. That's just every Bethesda game. I'm trying to think, because like here's the thing. This Skyrim run can go for a very long time. But there are other games that I want to get to. And one of those games is... well, like, I want to get to the other Elder Scrolls games. I also want to get to Fallout games, because I actually haven't touched Fallout in a year? at least. And I want to get back into it. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been getting a Fallout itch recently. And I want to scratch that itch by playing one of my Fallout, like, any of the Fallout games. Yeah, New Vegas is pretty good. Like, actually, so on my long car drive, also I do want to go back to this, because I talked about, like, you know, visiting the people, but also just, like, on the way out west, I drove through Ohio, right? And, of course, I drove through Indiana, but no one wants to talk about Indiana. I drove through West Virginia, and that was probably my favorite state to drive through. Not that it was, like, the best state to drive through, in terms of, like, driving. Like, around Charleston, that was, you know, roads pretty, you know, heavy with drivers, and not the best driving experience. But, you know, I go through the state with just, like, Appalachia is so cool. So neat. And I got to see Charleston, too, as I already mentioned. Like, the Capitol building is visible right there on the road with this big gold dome. I'm assuming that's a Capitol building. There's no it's not. But the reason I bring it up is Fallout 76. Now, this may be controversial,
I probably shouldn't tell everyone who asks.
but I'd totally be down for playing Fallout 76 on stream just as much as any Fallout game. Any other Fallout game, I mean. Because I hear the game's gotten better. And also just in general, it's a game that I've had sitting in my game library, and I hear, if nothing else, like, the reason I play Fallout games, yes, there's story, yes, well, the reason I play any Bethesda game, really. Yes, there's story, yes, there's, you know, character building, RPG elements, all that stuff. The real reason I play them and care about them is the world. And I hear West Virginia, the world building in Fallout 76, is pretty damn solid. So, totally, like, 76 is on my radar of games that I want to play on stream. So, yeah, that'll be something. Yeah, I also liked 4. New Vegas is very solid, very good. New Vegas is, like, yeah, it's like, it's not perfect, but the imperfection is mostly because it was kind of rushed. Like, Obsidian had a very small time window to make the game and release it. So, yeah, basically, New Vegas is good, though. New Vegas is good. I'd also be down to play 3. 3 seems like 3 is also actually a Fallout game that I've never played. Well, I say never played. I've played through the intro of 3, you know, when you're kind of going through the vault.
You start running so I can snap you in the head.
Honestly, I'd kind of be okay with that. Like, I wouldn't really be into 76 for the multiplayer experience. Maybe that's the wrong way of looking at it, because it is a game made for, like, kind of built around the idea that you're gonna have that multiplayer experience. But I don't know, I typically prefer to play games like that as if it's single player. So I wouldn't really mind it being too dead. But yeah, basically, yeah, 3 is a game that I've, like, I played through a bit of the beginning, but then, like, as soon as I left the vault for whatever reason, I just forgot to pick it up again and get back to playing it, so yep, there's that. Now, I hear, like, 1 and especially 2 are also very critically acclaimed games that a lot of people are into and really enjoy. Like, they're great RPGs and all that stuff, and I hear that. Yep, we're doing this Skyriming, Void Hunter. But my thing is, like, I don't really, I'm not that big a fan of, like, isometric RPGs. I get that they're good RPGs. I just kind of prefer 3D worlds like this one, like in Skyrim. So, I mean, never say never. Like, I might be down to play those games on stream too. But really, I'm mostly looking at 3 onwards as, like, whatever the first Fallout game that I play on stream will be. Yeah, I have heard that, Ellie. Yeah, like, just as much as New Vegas has a very, like, yellow filter, 3 has a pretty green filter. So, yeah. That is a possibility. Another possibility I was thinking would be kind of work my way backwards. Because just like how I'm doing Skyrim with the Elder Scrolls series, I'm starting with Skyrim. I could just start with, like, 4 or 76 and work my way backwards from there. That's a possibility. Yeah, I hear that, Void Hunter, but here's my thing when it comes to mods. I get that a lot of people love to mod the shit out of their games, and that's totally cool. Oh, we've got vampires. That's totally cool and totally fine. You do you. It's your game. Do what you want. I am not that into heavily modding games. There's a lot of funny mods out there. Totally cool. Totally get it. They're probably fun to play with. I like to experience the games as they are. and as they were, maybe slightly touch up a few minor things with mods, but I don't like to completely change the way the game is presented and played, especially played. So that's my kind of take on mods. Yeah. Yeah, characters from older games do appear in new ones. I am aware of that. Like, there's... What's his name? The... Oh, come back here. The... The Brotherhood of Steel. What's the... Elder Maxon? Is that his name? Like, yeah, he's basically a character who starts, who like, is in 3 as a young boy, and then by the time you get to, Fallout 4, he's, like, this gruff, like, middle-aged man who's seen some war. And, yeah. Yeah, totally. Like, I was very much into modding, like, heavily modding Skyrim when I first got it on PC. Like, totally. I feel that. So, yeah. Like, I can see the same with Fallout 4. Harold and Sierra. Those names sound familiar.
I'm getting out of here.
You're not getting out of here. What is it? Is it the Giants? It can't be the Giants.
Help!
No, whatever. It's probably just wolves. Now, I did not know that. That's an interesting fact. Alright, we could probably just beeline it from here. I'm trying to think of where this location is for this quest. And I can't think of what it looks like. I'll probably know the dungeon as soon as I enter it, but yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, yes, I have heard of both of those characters. Yep. Yeah, actually a content creator that I look up to, Many a True Nerd, he is really big on Fallout and has played the older games. So so basically, yeah, Harold and Sierra, while I myself have not played those older games, he's brought that, like, I know those characters from him. Yes, MATN. He's probably my favorite content creator. Sadly, I can't watch as much of him anymore as I have less time, as I am a content creator myself. But definitely, absolutely love supporting him. I want to make time to like get back into watching his You Only Live Once run of Fallout 4. Because that was fun up until I stopped being able to, because, again, time constraints of being a content creator. But yes. No, I don't have tea, I just have my squeaky water bottle that squeaks when you open it. Yeah, his Fallout challenge runs are pretty great. Ooh, the lighting was being a little bit weird there. Interesting.
Thought I heard something.
Oh, hi, Silverhand. Hello, hi, howdy, howdy do. Alright, you're gonna be a little bit easier. Cool. Alright. Select those. Yes. I vaguely recall this location. Alright. So that'll be a good place for us to pick up next time. Yeah, just wanted to get myself out here so that I'm not in front of my house, and next time I pick up the game for stream, I'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna do some more house building. No. We're gonna do some actual questing for once. So, that's a good place to call it. Yeah, good talks about Fallout, catching people up on basically everything that's been going on in my life this past week. And yeah. Oh, come on. Tab out. You know you want to. So hopefully next time, Vtube Studio decides not to be as much of a bitch. And hopefully next time, my PC fan stops making this horrible grinding noise. So yeah. I know tomorrow I have something planned with Lazy June. I need to confirm with him if that's a plan for us to stream or if we're just gonna be like, you know, hanging out. Either way, I'll definitely get my schedule out tomorrow. Actually, no, tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? Right, today's Friday. So tomorrow, I don't know. I'll plan something. I'll follow me on Twitter and you'll be kept up to date. And then Sunday, as usual, my schedule. So look forward to all that. It's great to be back, and hell yeah. So let's look for someone to raid. But in the meantime, just in case you weren't aware, it is actually September, which means all subs, gifted or otherwise, are 20% off. And the creator that you're subbing to still gets the full amount that they would otherwise. I'm like 90% certain that's how it works. So, if you want any of my cute emotes and have access to them, please consider subbing to me or gifting subs if you are already. No pressure to do so at all. But if you did, it would be very much appreciated. So, yes. Let's see who's streaming right now. There's a few people. We'll go with you. Yes. Alright. Cool. So, I added all these new widgets to my stream manager, and now Raid Channel is not where I'm used to it being. Alright, let's go here. There we go. Oh, actually, okay, I see. So that's actually a collab. I'm not so sure about rating people during collabs, because you never know, right? you kind of feel bad about not rating the other person. So, what we're gonna do instead is ooh, maybe this person. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Back. All right. Let's go. So we are gonna raid Yuichi. Now I actually haven't been to any of his streams yet, I don't think. I've been following him for a while. So yeah. Go and send our love. As per usual. Right here in chat. Also, ignore that VTuber of the week. It's completely false. Ignore it. I got lazy and didn't change it. Right here in chat. This is our raid message. Haru Hugs. Go ahead and type it. If you are subbed to me, which you can get 20% off this month because of September, you can use that cute heart emote along with all the others. Or most of the others anyway. You can copy and paste, or just type it in when we get there. And yeah, send our love to Yuichi. And I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Haru! Oh, Haru! Wow! I was not expecting that.